Hey guys, how y'all doing? Alrighty, let's do some tactics. We're gonna crunch some tactics. Okay, let's do it. Let's do some tactics. Alrighty. We'll see how we do here. Let's do it. Alright. Let me see here. It's been a little bit of time since we've done this, so let's see if we can keep the speed up. Keep that speed up. Let's see. Nope, we gotta check here. Takes, and then check. Alrighty, Roo, this is mate. Just keep pushing it, pushing it. Oh, thought for sure that was mate. Let's see. There's mate there, mate there, mate there. Mate here. Let's see, what do we got here? Here we go. Discovery. We're in the queen. Let's see here. Check, check, check. I think we can actually win this queen. Yep. And then we win there. Let's see, what do we got here? Checkmate. Checkmate. Almost. Let's see here, what do we have here? Let's check. Okay, what am I missing here? Is it oh, taking here. And then mating there. Perfect. No, check here. Take. Let's see here. This is mate. Let's see. If we take here, then we can actually drop the pawn up the board. Let me see if we got this. I'm trying to see. Check, check, check. Let's see here. I think check in here, and that's mate. Let's see what we got here. Okay, we can actually start poking around here. Oh, I thought for sure we could poke there. Let me see here. Alright, if we do a rook here, I think we actually win material, yeah. Let me see. What do we got? What do we got? Let's see. If we take this here, we can actually check here, win the queen. There we go. Let's see. Double check. This actually is a smother mate. Let's see. What do we got here? It's black to move. Moving and a grooving. Let's see. Oh, darn. Let's see here. We'll work on some of these. Let me see. And then you win. Okay, so it's bishop takes there. Oh, you just win the queen. Okay. Let's do another one. Do another one. Oh, yeah. Come on, grab that. Grab that. Grab that. Grab there. That's mate. There we go. There's mate. There's check. There we go. There we go. Up the board we go. 1, 2, 3. Up there we go. We're winning. We're winning. Oh, yes, we are. We're winning. Let's do this thing. dokie. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see if we do this here. I think we win, and we actually win a. I think we have to do that there. I think we can actually just take that. I was trying to see if there's anything that we could do that would kind of jeopardize any of that. I don't think there is. And there we go. Let's just keep pushing on them. Keep pushing. Push it to the limit. One more time. Alright, check here. There we go. One second. I think we can actually play here and then there we go. Take this. Is it just taking that? Yeah. And then oops. Okay, take the queen. Okay, now we gotta bring the rook back. Okay, dokie. And then we have to push here, and then check there, check up here, and let me see here. Let's see, what do we got here? I think we could block this. Oops. Wow. We got to 30, so that's not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see, what do we got here? Is it this? Okay. Let's see if we can figure this one out. Okay. We did rather well. We only missed the ones on the very end, so that's not too bad. Let me see here. So that's not it. Interesting. Is it this pawn push? Wow. Okay. What am I missing? Is it? It's not that. Okay. Let's get a hint. So it's one of these rooks. Oh, okay. That it's a rover, rook up and over. You got the rover, the rook up and over. Okay, let's try another one. We'll get it. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get it back. We'll get it back. It's all about fun. And then let's see. We got the rook and over. There we go. We got that. Let's see here. Just relax. Remember, this is all about long distance. Most people burn out right off the bat. You just keep focused and you just keep up with your opponent and you got them. They eventually burn out. They can't keep up with you. You take the queen and then you grab the knight rook there. Let's see here. You probably grab this here and then mate. Let's see. You come here, you check there, and you grab the rook. You're winning. You're winning. Oh yeah, win, win, win. This is check. Let's see here. That's mate. There's check. Checkmate. Let me see here. Checkmate there. Uh, let's see. Come there, there, there. That's mate. Remember, you have to keep pushing it to the limit. Take there. I'm trying to figure out if there's anything like check in here. I think we can actually check here. You play rook takes rook, and then you take that rook there. There you go. Yeah, we have a. I think we can actually check. No, you can actually win with that there. And this wins a rook. Let's see here. This is, I believe, mate there. Let me see. So he takes there. Let's see here. I think we can actually pin this. Yeah, we win there. Okay, so let's see. We check here. Okay, no check there. Okay. Let me see here. And then you. Oh, you win with the pawn. Okay. Yikesies, yikesies. Try to figure out. Do I want to play queen here? Then you have that move. So we don't have anything there. We'll claim on that one. So we didn't have the right. Okay, so is it actually this? No. Okay. Huh. Is it something like that? Interesting. I'm trying to figure this one. This one's kind of tricky. Is it? Oh, is it this move here? Yeah. Okay. Here. Okay, so that's not it. Oh, you keep. Oh, wow. You push to mate. That is so cool. Watch. You come here. You use your king, and then your opponent keeps moving over. Boom! There's mate. That's cool. You gotta love those. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you come here. You take there. Oh, you take the rook. That's it. I took the bishop. That would only be equal material. And now when this rook moves, you grab the bishop. So you're actually up even massively more material. This allows the rook would have to move here, and then you can grab the bishop. Wow. Yeah, that's total devastation right there. Be on the lookout for those devastating moves. Okay, this one's a tricky one. See, that was the tricky position. I wasn't really sure about. That's very weird, though. If you come here and you take here, why doesn't? Oh, let me see. If rook takes, why doesn't the rook just take? Let me see. What are we? What are we missing here? I don't really. Oh, I get it. I get it. The queen's on pre. The queen's on pre here. So when the queen has to actually move, so like, and see what we have to do is now I get the idea. See, this rook right here is pinning the pawn, so we have to threaten something so that we could take this queen here. So we actually threaten mate, on the right here on G7. So by going queen to, oops, there you grab the rook. Okay, let's try that again. By going queen to G5 here, which attacking the G7 when that pawn wasn't there, moved. We now have freed up this pawn to take the queen, and by taking, if back here, if they actually take with the rook, they win the queen. So they can't really do that, and they can't really stop this mate. So what they have to do, because if they try to come back with like queen here, we just win the queen, nothing. And if they play rook up, then we win the queen. So the only way that the queen can do anything is by taking, and then pawn takes. And we're up a whole queen. That's actually a really nice combination. Very beautiful combination. Because then after takes here, we actually can't take. After rook takes, then we can actually grab this pawn up here. See, you see how black's whole position's collapsing now? There's nothing that black really can do, and by after rook takes and rook takes, this rook now is renewing the threat of mate, so the rook would actually have to come back. And then what you can also do at that point is trade off king takes, and then at that point you probably want to just give yourself a second. You probably want to reconsolidate with queen e5 here, and then what you could do at that point is start trying to pick up pawns, because the pawn is now being protected by the queen. Pretty cool tactical puzzle. Now that we won that one, what we're going to probably do is face a AI bot, a computer. It's always fun to do that. Alright, let's play bots. Oh, interesting. She's 1300. Let me see here. Let's try a, oh, we don't want to do that. We'll try the 16. Who's this? Oh, that's cool. Okay, we'll try this guy here. We'll try the strong. He's vying for the throne. He will do whatever it takes to snatch the crown, even if that means making a deal. Ooh, that's not good. Not good at all. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Naughty. That's a bad, bad, bad. Let's see. We'll play a challenge. No hints. We're gonna play as white. So let's play. Let's have some fun. Fun, fun, fun. So we'll go D4 here. And then now we're gonna play. Why isn't this working? Uh-oh, come on. Knight comes up. Oops. Let's make sure everything is still going. Excellent. Still going. It looks all good. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Okay, then now we have to make sure that we get everything back over this. Minimize this. Hold on, I want to make sure I have all the stuff so I can see what you guys are typing. Perfect. Okay. Then the knight moves in, bishop here. This is an interesting position. I believe this actually loses because of knight takes here. So he's going to have to play this move here. And it's really an interesting continuation. This is how you get a brilliance. By playing bishop takes, and when the knight takes, pawn takes. That's attacking the knight. The knight retreats. The queen grabs up here. We play knight check there. Then you take. After the knight takes this pawn. Oh wow, he didn't take the pawn. Interesting. Let's castle. Now we're threatening to actually. He's gonna win. He's gonna try to win our rook. So we can actually now play this move here. Actually, we actually want to check. Oh, that's a sneaky. I think I made a boo-boo there. I was too hasty here. I should have actually played like I thought, knight h3 here. That actually would have caused, but then it would have been bishop. Alright, I could have actually played f3 here. The knight takes, and then castle queenside at that point. And then I'm threatening some discover checks at that moment. That's okay though. Let's see what we can do here to recoup a little bit. Let's move this rook up. Check. We're going to win this bishop. Bishop intercepts. Okay. Let's put this rook up to defend the knight. We still are going to win this knight back. We're going to be down a little bit of material, but that's okay. Let's see, how many? He's up 4 pawns. Let's see if we take. It's going to be interesting. Let's see if we can't. We're going to attack that pawn. So now we're equal material. Let's see if we can grab a queen. Okay, now this is going to get intense here. trying to fix and see if we can't, infiltrate, get maybe some attack. I'm trying to see if there's any way, like maybe we can poke here, and if he comes there, then we can actually win the queen. Oh wow, he actually did that. Crazy. We win. Wow, surprisingly. That's insane. We actually just grab this here, get the last pawn off the board. Come back with check. 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 Bring the bishop in. King retreats. We have to now slowly but steadily tighten the noose on this position. Or the net, as I like to say. Come in there. Let's see if we can't get this pawn queened. There we go. Now it's over. This is wonderful. Tells you one thing, don't give up. Like the queen coming in. I think this is actually almost mate because he only has one square to go to. I'm trying to see if we can't set up, I think, no, if we check here, he's got one square to go to, and then we can actually deliver mate. We can kind of get a, one of those, yep, that was a good victory there. Whew, that was close. That was actually. We'll go over the game. We'll actually analyze the game and go over it where what we should have actually done at certain points, and then we'll probably call it right here because this is actually a good spot. Yeah, he had 74% accuracy, and I had 81.1. So we got to work on that. We had a brilliance. One sec, let me get some tea and then we'll talk about it. Okie dokie. Thank you for waiting on that. Okay. Right. So, oops, I gotta do this here. So it's even. Then we do this move here. The knight comes in. This is a great move here. That's their best continuation. The very best. You take. See, there's an interesting line where if you actually took with the pawn, I'm not sure if you actually get any advantage at that point, because then the knight could actually come to h5 here, and they're gonna win the pawn back. So the only way that you can keep the advantage is actually to take. And after takes, you take, and after that's an excellent move. But that's a brilliant move. You found the right move by sacrificing your queen. We actually went up a whole entire. We went up 3 pawns, and that's a great move here. I I blundered here, and see that I believe the correct move would be knight. Okay, to hold this pawn, and then probably the kicker of h3. Okay, gotta remember that because some of these lines are forced lines. So like if that happened, you grab that, and if the knight comes here and does all that, you want to bring your knight to f3. Oops, knight f3, and then you go h3 here. That actually kicks the knight out to the only move that it could really go to is h6 here, and then at that point you can castle. I think though the bishop could actually take here, so you have to calculate in if that's actually the if that's actually a threat. See, you have to always keep in consideration that idea. But this actually holds a pawn. So even if like the bishop did take on c2, I really don't think we can actually kick the knight out at that point with h3, and then I'm trying to see if we can maybe play rook c1 to get the queen out, and our queen bishop, and then play e3, have a get your bishop out, and then castle kingside. That's an interesting continuation. Yeah, so but this was a mistake here. What I thought would happen is if he would take, then I can do this taking here, but actually by taking he forked both rooks. So I have to be on the lookout to make sure I don't fall for that. Then that's they're saying that's inaccurate. That's the best. That's a mistake they're saying. The pawn, that's a good move. An excellent move. And then we played this move here. He takes, and I think this has a check here, so we can actually come back and win. It's kind of hard sometimes when this actually is the best continuation because it takes away the square for the knight, so we're gonna win. They're saying that's the best. Takes. But actually, this bishop does a really wonderful job. Surprisingly, this bishop actually holds everything together because we're going to be able to use it and then potentially maybe get the king. It's going to be a long end game if the opponent can grind us down, which they didn't. They made some mistakes. Played there. Excellent move. I think. Let me see. That's an excellent. He played a mistake there. That's the best. This is actually the equalizer move because it attacks here. He actually could actually play this move, and I'm thinking it's almost completely equal at that point because when in theory if you played here you can actually play bishop up and then put entomb your bishop there, and there's really no way that he could actually get any progress going. He would have to somehow sacrifice his rook, but you have a more advanced, excuse me, pass pawn here. If he did take like rook takes, pawn takes, you have a pawn that can get there sooner. And so we do have 2 pawns for. Let's see, he has 4 here. We have 5. So we have a bishop and 1 pawn. He's still 1 pawn up. He played this move here, and we played the best. And there's not enough time. See, like he could actually have played this move. We have taken here. He slides over. We would retreat back. It'd be a long, long battle for holding. But he played that move, and then we took that. We did the right move. That's a complete blunder. Oh, interesting. They're saying. Oh, I see. We can actually. Oh, trap. Interesting. That was a complete blunder on his part. King C1 is actually completely winning here. King. I'll show you the line. King C1. The rook has to move. King B1. The rook goes up to only move A3, and then King B2, and then the rook is trapped because it doesn't have any spots to go to. So I'll show you right here. Here, 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 up, and then there's no spot to go to and it's trapped. Just wanted to show you it's not a fantasy move, it actually is what happened. So let's go back here. We have to let me see, how do I review? Perfect. Let's get to our spot where, there we go. We're still winning though, because we get this. At this point, I think oh, we still have that idea in. Okay. We still have that idea, and so yeah, we missed it. What are they? Oh, I should have probably moved my king to d1. Oh, king d3. Okay, king d3. They can't push at that point. We can actually push. But I moved too fast, so remember, don't move too fast. Look for the best continuation when you have a lot of time. Takes. It's actually a complete draw here. You have to keep checking. And that was the blunder that lost the entire game there. You win there. Check, excellent move. Check. And then best move, continuation. That's actually an excellent move because you're now getting all the pieces involved. And now it's mate in 24. I think we actually set up almost for this mate here. We actually set up for mate in 8 here. Queen. It says we had a great opening, 100% accuracy. We had a okay middle game. We had a really good end game. What we might do is we'll try one more bot, because those are always fun to play. We'll do one last bot. Let's see, who do we want to play here? Who's this? 1500. Let's see. Let's see, advanced player. We'll do a. We'll play Isabella. She's from New Zealand, so we'll give her a shot. And we'll play as white. We'll do one more game. Now we're really gonna focus in d4, knight c3, our standard setup. Okay, so we play bishop out. We're getting all our pieces developed. Interesting. That actually is a null move. But the idea, though, if you have to look at this idea, is to stop our knight. We want to actually come poking in here, causing a little bit of a headache on him. So we play e3 here. Oh, interesting. They play that. Interesting. Okay. We want to play f3. This is kind of an interesting line. And so yeah, now we're going to play bishop d3. The knight comes in. Oh, interesting. Actually, this move doesn't actually really do anything because the rook can actually move. So you really don't win anything here. You actually, in a middle game, you want your minor pieces. So what we're going to have to do is play knight e2 here. And black's actually really, really poorly placed. So we're going to actually break with e4. So they play knight there. Okay. And let's see, what do we want to do? The knight's almost trapped. So do we want to push here? And see, if we push, the knight can actually go to h5. Hmm. I'm trying to see if we could actually play knight takes, takes, queen takes. Yeah, let's play knight takes pawn, and if he takes here, okay. So we take here. Plays bishop. Okay, so interesting. Very tricky. Nice continuation. We have to move our queen up to attack. He plays here. He takes there, but that's actually a completely losing if he does that. Let's castle queenside here. I like this idea. After bishop, the knight's not going to take, because if the knight did, we would take back and have a pretty good scope. So bishop takes knight's an interesting continuation. Pawn takes. Then we can implant a knight in and potentially play check. Do we want to do that? I'm trying to see. Let's see, knight takes. That actually makes hit. We had to have a majority at that point. Yeah, let's do that. That gets rid of a very powerful knight. We have the idea of either knight to f4 or knight to c3. You have to always ask yourself, if you're going to move a knight, where would you want to put this knight here? See, you take it off the board, and you in your mind place it on spots that you want it to, and then you work back. So if we're wanting our knight, let's see, where would be the optimum placement for our knight? Would actually be on e5. That would be where we would love the knight to be, or on d5, so that we can do some poking there later. But our main idea would probably be something like knight to e5 here to dominate the whole board. So let's see if we can work back here. We can find a way to that. Yeah, we could do it this way. So we could actually go here, 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 and then into there. But that's if there's a closed position. So I'm not sure if that's the best. So I'm just going to develop knight c3, because this is actually a good move. It allows the rooks to open. Wowzers. That was actually a complete blunder on their part. I can now win a piece here. And now what we could actually do is, I'm trying to think, we have to move our queen to its optimum placement. So I'm thinking that probably queen, well, if we play queen f4 here, they actually have this move, and then when we move back to something like over here, they could actually lock the position down there. So I'm thinking maybe queen f2 is actually not a bad continuation, because then you're actually eyeing a pawn on a7 here. You're still keeping this pin. The knight's guarding there. The rook's guarding. Yeah, let's go queen f2 makes more sense. And so now we can actually take this pawn here. They played there. And what we might need to do is, at this point, Let's see. Do we want to take here, win a pawn? Do we want to take, check, takes? You have to, now we got to consider, we got to be careful because what they're going to want to do is play this. When we play here, they're going to want to play that. But I still think we're okay. Because we can just take this, this knight after takes here. So you always got to be careful when you set these positions up. Don't move fast because you can potentially lose the entire game at that point. This would be nice if somehow we can actually play here, but the problem is they would have that move to block it. I'm thinking the best way that we can do this is actually bishop to d2 here, and that still renews the idea. Yeah, bishop d2 is actually the best. It still keeps the idea of taking in play. And now we don't lose a rook. We actually have won a piece for nothing, basically. Okay, now we can actually, in theory, take the pawn here. Queen takes, rook pins the queen, and that actually will completely win now. This is a tactic. You trade two rooks for the queen. Now you take this and you're attacking the rook. This is a tricky position. Let me get a drink of tea here. We're slowly but steadily disassembling this opponent. See how by paying attention and not rushing, we actually played a better game here. And Isabella is actually 1700, so congratulations if you spotted all those moves. She's not anybody to diss, as I like to say. I'm liking actually, surprisingly, Queen D4 is an actually strong move because it eyeballs the attack here, so the rook would have to move. Then we can actually play Queen check. It's looking pretty dire for we actually can. I think this actually wins a rook. Queen D4, rook uh, G8, Queen check. The only move the king could do is go back to D7 here. We play Queen check. I think. Oh, the bishop intercepts. Interesting. Bishop intercepts. That's an interesting continuation. I still think it's playable, so we kind of want to activate our queen. Very interesting, actually. First, you want to check. Let's see. We want to check with our queen here. That actually picks up a pawn. Because this actually, when you check, he goes back, and if you try to check, he can actually punk up poke a rook. Actually, no, he can't because of. But is it good enough though? So you have to ask yourself, do you gain anything after this? So here, even if you checked, he just retreats back. But if we, in theory, play check, he has to come up here. We could actually take the rook at that point. Yeah, I like this move here. I don't see any problem with it. Then we grab the pawn. We want to kind of keep our bishop tucked away. He's going to probably win this pawn. Oh wow, he didn't win the pawn. So if you're not going to win the pawn, let's hold the pawn. And it stops the check idea. So the only check that they have is like that, and we're now. And so that's now they're going to try to check via there. So we have to be very careful here. Make sure we don't do anything silly. So we check. Let's check. See if we can't pick up a rook here. And we actually do. We picked up a rook. Boom. So sometimes you can actually pick up a rook. He's going to check me. But it doesn't really bother me. I just go to a light square. Let me see here. Would it have actually been better to have taken the bishop? So you have to consider that back here. I'm not sure. I think just grabbing a rook, that actually completely wins. This would win too, but why keep the powerful rooks on the board if you don't have to? Because then the king would just come here, and now you have a whole mess that you have to deal with. By just grabbing this rook here, you actually relieved a lot of problem. Then you just grab the bishop, and it's basically now over. They're going to try to win this pawn, and we're not going to let them. We're just going to attack the rook. You know what? You sometimes just take a second, unwind your pieces. Don't. Yeah, it's probably not completely the best move, but remember, the whole idea is to play a good game and to slowly but steadily win. It's all about good moves, my friends. Now we are attacking, and we're going to pick this pawn up here. So now we have two passers that black has to worry about. Now let's come over here, threatening a check. So even if they win that material, we just move our king back here. And if they push, we can actually take. Okay, so they come there. Interesting. We move the king. Now you move the knight in, and you're attacking the rook. And now what we do is we bring our knight in. Now we're threatening to actually set up for a mate. He's actually running out of squares. So we're going to kick this rook now. And we take it because there's no squares that the rook could go to. And now what we're going to do is we're going to play check. We're going to play this move here. Wait a second, I got to be careful. We don't want to get ourselves, we don't want to actually have a loss of a game. this isn't. This is going to be a crazy move sequence. It's going to be queen c7 here. If the king moves, sorry, if the king, queen c7. If the king comes up here, it's mate. So the king can't move. So by us playing here, the only move that the king could actually play. So if it comes forward, actually, yeah, if it comes forward, we can actually play. Let me see. I'm trying trying to figure this out because I had the idea where the we moved here, the pawn pushed, the king came up, the pawn, and then this pawn pushed here, and then we actually checkmated via there. But that's I don't know if that's actually playable right now. We have to hold this because if we come up here, king there, we can actually. We don't want to pull the king out though. I'm thinking we could actually play knight here when this pawn moves, which is, oh wow, he actually walked into a checking mating idea. Now this actually threatens mate. We actually win now. Whatever they play, it leads to mate. I'll show you my idea back here when we do analysis. Then we'll call it on this. We'll do a game review and then we'll call it. It's better to play against the AIs than actual players because you actually get to practice your ideas here. Yeah, 82%. We got to work on that, trying to get it up to 90. But we had 5 inaccuracies. We didn't have any blunders or mistakes, so that's not bad. All the other ones we had the majority were good. Let's see what our playing strength was. 22,000. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Let's go through this and I'll show you the idea. We'll walk through the game. And see, that's an excellent move here. That's dubious. The best move. No, they didn't like that. Okay. What did they actually like after this? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that is a strong continuation now. I remember this now. That's actually that is the strongest continuation. Yeah, the best continuation is, hold on. The reason this is a good move is what it does is it allows for you to actually castle queenside here, and if the knight comes here, you can actually come in, and then if see the whole idea is if knight goes to h5, bishop e5, and they go f6 here, you actually can actually play bishop to g3 here, and after knight takes, pawn takes, you actually provoke the weakness on the light squares of e6, and so you can actually later on with your knights take advantage of that, especially since it's closed. They traded off a valuable knight, which would be beneficial in a closed game. So you want to keep it closed and slowly smother your opponent. So f3, bishop comes in. Now it's debatable. It's not a bad move. It's not. There we go. They played a dubious, so then we were able to play knight. This is actually an excellent continuation because you have an idea of two. You could have two ideas you could do. You could either castle kingside here, or play queen d2 and then castle queenside. It allows. It doesn't. It also there's an idea that you want to do in this type of a setup. When you get this, This protects the pawn here, so you can actually play e4 at a certain point. I probably should have castled first, which would have probably been the best, and then played e4. Still a good move, still playable. But e4 is also a break that you're going to want to play. So you probably would have had castled first and then done that. Knight comes in, you take, takes, excellent move, takes, best, takes, and then bishop. That was actually that's actually the best move. You found it's active and it wins time for your king to actually castle opposite side. And probably castling king side would have been better, but I liked castling queen side for one reason. I know it puts the pawn on the rook on the king, but you can do a prophylactic move of king b1. If knight takes, pawn takes, you actually have a double threat on this pawn. So that's why the knight didn't actually take. Isabella didn't take. They played that move, and then we took, which that's a good move. The reason is you're removing their most active piece at the present moment, which is the knight, for yours, and you're setting up, because the king hasn't castled, you're setting up for a potential idea of d5 here. D5 is a destructive move, because what's going to happen is you you can actually then eventually take more space and play your knight in eventually. It's pretty cool how this all works. So that was an okay move, not probably the best. I was wondering if knight. Let's see what they're saying. Bishop, okay. Yeah, see, white's pawn structure is wrecked. If black were to take back here, taking, the queen would actually take. So it wouldn't be a good idea when the king moved. Then all you do is go king b1, and you're safe and out of any problems. So we played here. That's actually, it pins the queen. You found it. That's the best material. You win material here. He found the best move, and that's actually an excellent move. That wins. They have to push here, and then when you take, that's the best. And so we actually found the see the idea how we there. I know what you're considering probably. I actually don't know. I'm just proposing what a lot of us would be thinking. Is potentially just retreating back to keep an eye on this pawn. Not a bad move, but the problem is your opponent has h5 here, and then if you take, they have h4. That's it. That's an idea. And also, it's probably not a bad idea to retreat. That's actually an excellent move, because what you're doing here, you're still keeping the pin, and you're gonna win this bishop without losing your rook. So you're keeping your material on the board and still winning a piece. And that's what you're wanting. They played the best move. That's the best move. That's an excellent. You followed up with a pin. This actually wins the queen on the spot. Here, then the pin against that wins the queen, and now you're completely winning. You have to look for these combinations when they're there. You gotta be like, is there any way I can win material right after it? Because sometimes your opponent, in a lot of the old time games, yeah, like the boxing games, they would be in a kind of dizzy phase. After all this, your opponent might be in a foggy phase, and so they might take wrong or do something wrong, and you can actually slam dunk the game with a move like rook takes, and that's a shell shock. Like on the turtles, it's a shell shock move. That's a shell shock move. That's like, hello, wake me up. Coffee needs to be needed in this position, and it's too late. I'm not. It's too late. It's over. But the crying. And then we play it here. That's the best continuation. And you just grab it. Now you're up 6 pawns. And you grab that. Now you're playing the best continuation so far. So good. This is actually one of the strongest moves, because you're now threatening and you're attacking a rook. So if you could do two things, the three things my grandmaster teacher taught me, you're kicking it, as I like to say. Bishop comes in, we check. That's actually the best continuation, because I was looking at this move, the move f6 here, and then the king would move, check. You don't actually get anything after that move. So this move right here is actually the best, because what it does is it allows you to fork a pawn, and you actually win a pawn here. And now there's really no place for the king to hide. It's kind of there's no place for the king to hide. You know, let's ride out and meet him like on Lord of the Rings. That was actually an excellent move. I was considering, do I retreat anywhere else? And I'm like, nah, it's not. That's the best continuation. That's actually the best stepping. And then this check right here is tremendous. We're now sets up for a win of material because we can actually play here and then probe in and actually potentially win this rook. So like if it, yeah, there we go. Now in comes the win of a rook, and there we go. Now we're totally winning. This isn't. That's an excellent move. Probably an okay move would be this one too, because then what you can do is potentially after some checks, try to hold this pawn. But why do that when you can just make it easy on yourself? Just grab this rook. There's no way that after check, there's nothing that black can do once you put your king on d3, because it doesn't have a light squared bishop. It only has a dark squared. And then now the queen can start dancing, doing the cha cha all over the entire board, and she does. And then she's just kind of like, "Come dance with me, king. It's gonna be your last dance, but we get to dance." So we take there. He takes. Now it's a completely winning game. That's actually the best continuation because it pushes the rook. The king comes up. We're now getting out of any problems, and we're slowly but steadily activating a piece that we want to activate at the very end, which is your king. More centralized king, and an end game is total dominance. Funny thing is, we actually never left the middle game. Surprisingly, we're still in the middle game because there's still enough pieces on the board. We're kind of into a quasi end game here. Check. And come up, check. So we're playing all the best. Continue. Yeah, I probably didn't need to take that pawn, but I was like, why not? Why not? Because there's really no other checks, and we don't want the rook to take it. So I just took it. I'm like, it's probably not exactly the most accurate move, but it's in my opinion, the best. That's probably not the best move. Probably. Let me see what would have been the best continuation. Maybe knight to a4 here probably. Then after the check, no, because that would allow a check there. Maybe they were considering king to hold everything together. Probably king b3 here wouldn't be a bad idea, because even if the king came up, there'd be no way for actually the king can't come up. Even if the pawn tried to push, the knight could actually grab the pawn. Yeah, probably king b3 would have actually been a more solidifying move. Then it would be like black would be blah, and his position, their position would be blah. There would be nothing that they could do. So we played that. There's check. We had moved there anyways. Excellent move. We're slowly but steadily and this actually wins. This one move here wins the rook because there's no place for the rook to go. Any place the rook goes, they die. It dies. So we go there. This is actually, I wanted to show you my idea here. Let me see what with that. I'm trying to remember here. Oh, right here. This is it right here. I'll show you. This is the sweet idea I was thinking. I didn't. I had where they're saying that king up would have actually been better, but wouldn't that have been, if king up wouldn't that have been that'd have been smother mate. You can't. I mean, that smother mate. That would have been a stalemate. That would have been horrible. I can't believe they actually had that. That would have actually been a bad continuation. Wait a second, king. Oh, you take the knight. Interesting. Oh, interesting. King. Okay, king a4. That's right. Knight there. Then you have king takes a5. You have the king in a box, and now the mate will be coming pretty soon. Yeah, that's not a bad move. This was our idea though. Queen c, and then if the pawn pushed here, my idea would actually be to have played king up here, and when this pawn moves here, we actually have checkmate. That was kind of my idea, and that was kind of a pretty beautiful mate where you can allow the pawn to actually almost get queened, two moves from queening, and you still get mate. Because if you the king was in a box, and you can't allow that to happen. So, but the game ended pretty good too as well. So knight here. This is actually an excellent continuation. It keeps the box in play. Also gives the king a spot to go to a6 with a beautiful mating in 3. There's mate. There we go. Mate. One more mate move. There's no way to stop it, and there's checkmate. Well, congratulations. You guys got to learn a little bit of middle game. Let's see what our rating is again. We'll go back to review. We'll get to the very end here. The mating move that actually happened. We were 2,000. We had a good opening. A really good middle game. They had a good and good. And so we're doing good. We're still about 80. We're over 80%, which is good. And that's not bad. That'll get you a win. If like they played 78.3%, we did 72.8. We only had 7 inaccuracy moves, no mistakes, no blunders, and no misses. So we actually did rather well on that. That was a pretty good game. But the whole idea, remember, we're gonna take this apart. Well, we're gonna think about 3 things we can work on. You have to work on taking your time as a chess player, and also I'm gonna throw 2 things in there: taking your time and making sure you don't do those 1 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute. Minimum is 10-minute games, because that at least gives you some time to think. But you probably want to do even longer than 10-minute games. Like face a bot, where there's an infinite time, and you can think about your moves, and you can start getting better. So what if you lose on it? It's a way to learn. You go back through your review, you find out where you made a mistake, and you fix it and improve. And you didn't lose any rating points at that point. So it's like it's the ultimate learning, because you get to learn at no cost, and you get to take something that you didn't see before and apply it. Number 2, let's see, after that one, there would be make sure the moves that you're playing, your opponent's actually going to actually do. Don't make a move that you think's a good move, then your opponent plays some sort of, move you didn't see, and and then you're up a creek without a paddle, and you don't want that. That's the old phrase where before there were motors on boats, you had to use a paddle. If you didn't have a paddle, you were stuck. Okay, so you have to make sure that you don't get yourself stuck. And then the last one is, if you enter a middle game, you want to activate your king smartly, and look for the most, if you're winning with material, look for the most solidifying move. Like the king to b back a little bit further, king b3 would have solidified everything. The rook would have been blah, basically a nothing piece, and we would have eventually slowly but steadily rounded up the rook. We still did an okay move. It wasn't an excellent or a good move. So it was excellent or the best move. It was a good move, but not the best. So just look for those 3 things, and if you apply those 3 things, and you might even find 4 or 5 or 6 things that you can work on. But we spotted 3 this time, and that'll be something that you, my friends, can work on. Okay, I'll leave you with that. And remember, the ultimate decision, like in chess, we have a decision that we have to make with our pieces, where to place them. And like we take them off the board, and we want to put like our knight. So like when eventually, after everything's said and done, and in our life we have our final move sequences, it's, are you going to pick the right move that gets to checkmate? And the checkmating move is to receive the Lord Jesus, Lord and Savior of your life, because at the very end, the game is about checkmate, and you get to go into a wonderful place called eternity, and that's a place that we can't even imagine. So that you don't lose, which is the other place. You want to make the right decision now, so that every move up to that point will get you closer and closer to that, and you'll get stronger. You'll earn rewards. Like on here, we get chests is you get points, but in the other in the, as I like to say, great by and by, you get to earn rewards, crowns, and stuff like that. So same type of thing. Chess is life, if you want to think about it. So just consider what I'm saying, my friends, and I appreciate you being on and watching, going over the two games. We did three battles and we did really good. It was our a little bit back into it, and so it's wonderful. Great job, and take those three principles that we talked about and implement them in your life. And also don't forget to receive the Lord Jesus, Lord Savior of your life, and you're set, my friends. Okay, bye bye. Be blessed, and I'll see you next time on Chess Cruncher TV, my friends. So, bye.